Am I the asshole for giving my sister-in-law baby formula? I'm going to start my post by saying that I do not have children and I have no experience with babies or motherhood or children. I'm 18 and beyond being around them in group settings where at least one of the parents and a ton of other people are around, that's it, just for some context to my post. My brother's wife had a baby 17 days ago. I didn't go visit them yet, but my brother and sister-in-law sent me some pictures. My brother said our cousin Rachel was around a lot because my sister-in-law is having trouble breastfeeding and Rachel is a big believer in it and is helping her. I offered to help them if I needed it, and on Saturday, they asked me to go to the grocery store for them because no home delivery had an open spot. When I dropped the food off, I was shocked at how bad my sister-in-law looked. She literally looked like the Walking Dead, barely awake and not showered, and she was actually crying because she was so frustrated. It actually scared me how bad she looked. At first, I didn't want to, but it bothered me so much. So I went back to the store and I got a can of baby formula. I figured it would give her a break and my niece could eat. It was even worse when I gave it to my sister-in-law because I said it was no big deal if my niece got formula. It wasn't a problem. My sister-in-law broke down hysterically crying, and I was honestly scared because she was weeping so hard, like in the movies when someone dies kind of weeping. No one told her it was okay not to breastfeed. She felt so guilty because of Rachel butting in and no one telling her that formula was okay. I actually ripped my brother a new one because he sat back while my sister-in-law suffered. There was no way he didn't see how bad she looked. No offense, but she looked terrible. I got my sister-in-law to shower after my niece ate and fell asleep, and I changed the sheets on the bed and told my sister-in-law to sleep while my niece slept, and I said I would get more baby formula. My parents and Rachel are furious at me. They left me an angry voicemail full of swearing. Rachel had sister-in-law holding the baby while topless 24/7. Rachel had breastfed all her kids until they could walk and talk and never had problems, but my sister-in-law thought I did the right thing because my sister-in-law actually stopped crying. She showered and slept, and the next 3 days, she looked better and she didn't cry again. My niece gets full now. My idiot brother smartened up and told Rachel to stay away, and everyone else, especially our parents and sister-in-law's parents, to butt out. They take turns feeding now so they both can sleep. My dad said I overstepped and should not have butted in. Normally, I'm really big on mind your own business, but this time I was scared shitless after seeing my sister-in-law on Saturday. Since I'm not a mother or baby expert, I have no idea what it is like with a newborn. I'm second-guessing myself now after feeling like I did the right thing because everyone is angry with me and say that I should mind my own business. So, am I the asshole for giving my sister-in-law baby formula? Am I the asshole for saying I prefer sushi to children? Okay, so straight to it. My husband and I, we're both in our early 30s, have been together for over a decade and made the decision to not have kids. I like kids. I have nieces and nephews. We just don't want them for our own reasons. He had a vasectomy, which only a few people know about. Our families are aware we don't want kids as they've asked this before during different major life events. Our wedding, for instance. We recently bought a 3-bedroom home with a nice yard in a nice area. Excited to show our new home to family and friends. Major upgrade to our previous home. we hosted a housewarming. During the party, one of my sibling in-laws, Alex, made a few indirect comments about all this space, and kids would love it in our house, etc. Eventually, they asked point blank when we were having kids. I made a lighthearted joke about it, which is my go-to for this question. Oh, well, I like sushi too much to have to give it up for a pregnancy. Plus, not drinking for pregnancy and breastfeeding, no thanks. I tried to make it very lighthearted and laugh it off. Most people just laughed along. That seemed to anger Alex, and I was told, children are a joy, and a good mother puts her kids before everything else. I agreed. Children are a joy. I like spending time with the nieces and nephews, and obviously a good mom if I choose sushi over kids, so I just won't be a mom. This is paraphrased. Still trying to brush it off in a gentle way because I'm not trying to start a fight by telling them to stop asking in front of everyone because I know my tone will be seen as rude and abrasive. We move on, but Alex is still annoyed and making little comments in their group about how flippant I am about it and how when it finally happens, then I'll understand. My husband heard this and said jokingly, well, if she gets pregnant, that'll be a problem for the divorce lawyers. That seemed to piss them off more, but they did stop. With holidays coming up, we have not been invited to Alex's usual Halloween bonfire. When husband spoke to his parents, they told him Alex was annoyed we were so careless and callous about our child-free status and to say what we did, and they realized we had taken permanent steps to ensure we never had kids. That we know that they had to do IVF to have kids, etc., and we are assholes to just not care. I feel bad because they did do IVF and lots of fertility treatments to have their kids, and even then, they still had a few miscarriages. I cannot imagine wanting kids and struggling to have them and then deal with miscarriages. But at the same time, I am so tired of justifying living my life how I want. So, am I the asshole for saying I prefer sushi to children? Edit to add, to the few people messaging and commenting about me being the asshole for not wanting kids, I am not asking if I'm the asshole for my kid decision. I'm asking if I'm the asshole for saying the sushi over kids comment. To everyone else, holy guacamole, I am overwhelmed. I never expected to get so many responses. I am trying to read all of them and the advice given. I feel terrible that my joke was taken the way it was and that I hurt my in-laws. I truly never meant for that to happen. After the bonfire this weekend, we will be reaching out to have a heart-to-heart, if they will accept it. Either way, I will be apologizing for hurting their feelings, and I will let them know I love their kids and them, but I will also be firmly putting my foot down for any further discussions about me having children. Thanks.